Okay, so let's begin. And this morning I want to talk with you a bit about how yoga puts this phrasing in the yamas and the niyamas, and also in what they call the 26 qualities of the sattvic heart. And the phrasing is the absence of. Like a quality is described as the absence of something. When we say, for example, ahimsa, we mean the absence of harm. When we say aparigraha, the absence of possessiveness or the absence of grasping. If we say akrodha, it means the absence of wrath. We say abhaya, the absence of fear. And this morning I'm going to recommend the absence of complaining. And there isn't a specific yama or niyama or quality that yoga says the absence of complaining. And I'm recommending that because in Oregon it's downpouring, it's raining a lot, and people are complaining. But we were also complaining about the fires, and we just have a human propensity for complaining. So can I recommend that we suspend that, the absence of complaining, because even if you're not dedicated to your complaint, even if you're saying it frivolously or you're saying it like socially because that's what people do about rain, for example, or about neighbors, whatever it is, let's look at the absence of that and see, like, how is that beneficial to not allow it to circulate for now? You can't control your neighbor or you can't control somebody else, but how is it beneficial to not have it circulate in you? And does that leave room for what Barb is saying in the chat? Then this expression of gratitude can come through, this expression of appreciation. Or you can imagine that in the absence of complaining and the promotion of the heart that is appreciating or has gratitude, you're also being inclined to a wider view. Like, it's more than about your personal pleasure to walk without rain today. It's also the forest, it's the earth, it's and also an expression of our ecology. So let's let it widen our view, the absence of complaining. And then the promotion of that inner experience of gratitude. Let's see what's in the chat here. Yeah. And so let me just give a little distinguishing thing there, because we can promote the attitude of gratitude, as Barb is saying in the chat. I have something in my eye, I'm sorry. We can promote that, but there is a specific reason, pardon me, why we also say the absence of something, like the absence of harm and the addition of kindness, or the absence of grasping and the addition of humility. So those two things, they kind of go together. And you can decide for yourself, in the absence of harm, what comes? In the absence of grasping, what comes? In the absence of fear, what do you have space for? In the absence of complaining, what happens for you? So you watch me, you take care of my eye. I don't know what it is. It should settle down. But... Okay, so let's sit for a bit of quiet together and just let that reflection simmer. I'm going to push my seat back. So you can rest your hands in your lap then. Let your eyes close. And just allow the simmering, almost like if you put the jasmine tea buds into the hot water, you see those tea buds, they blossom, they flower, their fragrance starts to be emitted. So in the same way, we just let it simmer, this reflection. As you find yourself being here, now allow your breathing to deepen And try to sense the verticality of the breath, but the expanse of your attention or your awareness. So this vertical plumb line, and then this sense of including all that is, that you are a part of. You may have to move your awareness back and forth between those two things. So the verticality of the breath, you may sense that as very personal because the sensations are inside. And the sense of inclusion in all that is, you might sense that as kind of impersonal. And my recommendation is, in the absence of complaining, you sense that as your personal responsibility, and see how it lets you be a part of all that is. This is also true for the absence of wrath, the absence of grasping, the absence of harm, the absences. We can feel ourselves to have a personal responsibility to cultivate that, and it lets us be in touch with all that is, everything and everyone, interconnected. With respect for that, you can join your hands together at your heart. And we'll chant this morning the Gayatri mantra. Om Bhur-bhuva Suvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Let's begin. Om Bhur-bhuva Suvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhur-bhuva Suvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhur-bhuva Suvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart and release your hands. Please open your eyes, and we're going to start with a little seated pranayama. So if you need to adjust your seat, please do that now. We're going to be using some work for your neck and shoulders so that hopefully the upper chest muscles and neck muscles that you try to breathe with sometimes, they're going to be a little bit disarmed so that you have to use your diaphragm to breathe you. Let me push back a little bit further. Okay, so check that you've got room in front of you, room out to the sides, and also sideways this way. Okay, and interlace your fingers. Push the heels of your hands forward and round your spine like you're doing cat pose. And take several breath cycles into the back hemisphere of your body. Promote an expansion across your back body. Now exhale with great tone in your lower belly, slowly increasing tone. And then from there, inhale, rise up and look up. Using a kind of cow pose spine, which is a back bend spine, as you look up, include lifting your heart, then your collarbones, and also your chin. Now inhale one more time, press up through the thumb side of your arms. And then exhale, make a wide circle of your arms and walk forward on your mat. Bring your hands and arms forward and bow the weight of your head down. I don't expect that your head reaches the floor, but please keep your hips grounded on your blanket or on your seat. And take a deep breath into the back hemisphere of your body. And then exhale through your nose, a long, slow exhale. Notice very specifically the tone you can make in the low belly towards the end of your exhale. Do that one more time. Good. Now walk your hands back towards your lap, and we're going to add to that and change it very slightly. So clasp your hands. Inhale to cat pose. Exhale, tone your low belly. Inhale, go up. Stay up for the exhale. Inhale, reach up through the thumb side of your arms. And then exhale, press wide and turn your torso just like a quarter turn to the right, and then walk forward and reach your left hand out. Bow the weight of your head, so keep your left hip grounded. If you feel like you've got like a forward bend and a side bend going, breathe into your left lower back. And exhale to release. Tone your low belly all the way to the end of the exhale. Walk yourself back up to sitting. Interlace your fingers. Inhale to cat. Exhale, tone the low belly. Inhale, rise up. Exhale while you're up, and try to sense like the toothpaste analogy, as if you're squeezing the bottom of the tube of toothpaste. So you tone the low belly for the exhale. And now exhale, make a quarter turn to your left, arms wide, and bow forward. Reach your right hand out. Keep your right hip grounded. Breathe into your right lower back. Allow yourself a full breath cycle, noticing the tone of the end of the exhale. And then walk yourself back to center. Now we're going to add the neck, so inhale to cat pose. And exhale in cat pose. Inhale to go up and reach up, look up. Now exhale, squeeze your hands down behind your head and look down all the way. Inhale, press up, look up. Exhale, pull the left elbow down, right hand behind your head, look down. Inhale, go up. Exhale, bring your right elbow down, left elbow behind your head. Inhale, look up. Exhale, left elbow down, right elbow behind your head. Now keeping your arms as they are, inhale, press your head back, lift your gaze. And exhale, bow your head. Inhale, press up. Exhale, right elbow down, hands behind your head, left elbow high. Now inhale, press your head back, lift your heart, your chin, your gaze. And exhale, gaze down. Inhale, rise up. And exhale to open wide and come forward one more time, forward to the center. Reach out with both hands, relax the weight of your head. Now as you relax the weight of your head, just turn your head very slightly side to side. So you can stay down in your forward bend and just sense, there you are, forward and down. The head can be really relaxed. And what happens if you just let yourself improvise and feel what's going on in your neck today? What is needed there? Let that be a gentle inquiry. No complaining. Remember we said at the beginning of class, you're not going to condemn your neck or the weather. And then walk yourself back up to sitting. And one more thing for the neck. Let's take the right arm out to the side, palm face up. Rotate your head to your left as far as you can go. Okay, so this is your inhale breath here. On the exhale, I'm going to ask you to turn your right palm down and take your arm behind your back. And then inhale, rotate your left ear towards your left shoulder. Exhale, chin to your throat. Inhale, right arm out, palm face up, nose to your left. Exhale, right arm behind you, your palm's going to face backwards. Inhale, left ear to your left shoulder. Exhale, chin to your throat. Inhale, right arm out to the side, gaze to your left. Exhale, right arm behind you, palm facing backwards. Inhale, rotate your ear to your shoulder. And exhale your chin to your throat. Let's rise up, second side, left arm out to the side, gaze to your right. And exhale your left arm down behind you, palm facing backwards. Inhale, right ear towards your right shoulder. Exhale your chin to your throat. Now inhale, open your left arm, palm face up, rotate your head. Exhale, left arm behind you, roll your shoulder back. Inhale, rotate your ear to your shoulder. And exhale your chin towards your throat. And then last one, inhale, open, gaze to your right. And then exhale back to center. Rest your hands in your lap and see what's happening inside. So how are you feeling now about the absence of complaining? It's not meant to be dogmatic, only a recommendation to free us up of the habit of having the complaints. Okay, so we're going to come down to the floor and do something also for the neck and shoulders. Let me change my camera. I have to get it. Oh, where did it go? where am I? The other me. The phone me. There we go. Okay. So please lie on your stomach so that you're going to be able to, if you need to see, I would like you to be able to see me. So lie on your stomach in such a way as you could see the camera. Okay, and I'll make sure that I'm in your view. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to lie down, and this is a shoulder stretch. And let me say, at no time should it feel to you like your shoulder is digging into the floor. That would be a misalignment for you. So when you lie down on your stomach, let me check. Let's see. I'll make it go a little closer to the floor because I can't back up any further. You know, I'm so tall. It's a consideration, right? All right, let's do that. Okay, so when you lie down, take your left arm out to the side so that it's out like this, palm face down. Turn your head to the right and place your right hand flat on the floor next to your right shoulder. Now, I'd like you to spread the fingers of your left hand, press your left hand down, and roll your left shoulder up away from the floor and back away from your ear. And then step your right leg over your left leg, press into your right hand for support. So it should not feel to you that your left shoulder is pressing down against the floor right now, but rather that you're rolling your left shoulder up away from the floor and down away from your ear. And the only reason to step your right leg back here is to stretch the shoulder and the chest. So don't think, how far can my right leg go? But how can you tend to your left upper chest, left shoulder, the left side of your neck? Now keeping a sense of the strength of your left hand pressing down. When you exhale, roll your right leg, your hips, and your heart back to center. Then take your right arm out to the side. Place your left hand under your left shoulder. Turn your head to your left. And again, make the right palm firm, roll your right shoulder up away from the floor, and step back with your left leg. So some of us are going to have to work a little more thoughtfully so the shoulder won't press down into the floor. And that could be because of your shoulder posture, could be because of your genetics, could be because of the activities you were doing before you came to class. If you press firmly into your left hand and your right hand and forearm, it can help you not to have your right shoulder digging into the ground. Let's breathe in one more time. And then exhale and roll this back to center. Okay, now center your head, please. Reach back with both arms towards your feet. Energize your legs. Now roll your shoulders up away from the floor and give them a good strong squeeze so the back of the shoulder blade should feel enthusiastic. And then begin to roll your chest up off the floor, lift the base of your skull, and do this any amount that you can do while breathing. And keeping your shoulders pressing up away from the floor, begin to stretch your wingspan out to the sides of your room. And imagine what I spoke about in meditation, that sense of being included in all that is and all that has been, as the bird in the sky doesn't sense itself to be separate from the wind on which it is being supported. Squeeze the shoulders back once more, and then exhale and make a little pillow of your hands. Rest your forehead down and turn your head to whichever side you prefer. And let the upper back deeply relax. And maybe you can consider the elements of what comes in for you when there's a complaint. Like, of course we have preferences. We're also prone to comparison. So what tiny piece of those things could be surrendered as a part of what adds to the complaints? Maybe preferences, comparisons, expectations, desires. None of these are so small, right? But they add up to a mental habit. Now place your hands beneath your shoulders. Bring your head to center. Roll your shoulders up away from the floor and give a good strong squeeze to your upper back and shoulder blades. Inhale, and then push down, rise up to table pose. Step your right hand well forward of your left hand. And as you reach your hips back, do not go to child's pose. So walk the knees back if you need to. As your hips go back, please lower your left elbow down to the floor. And keeping your right arm strong, I'd like you to keep your armpit lifted. Rotate your head to your left and allow your head, whatever flexibility it has, to come down towards the floor. However, please keep your right hand strong, right underneath your right forearm, underneath your right upper arm, and into your right inner armpit, please lift. Press firmly into your left hand, left forearm, left elbow. So the release you're putting in for your head is supported by the structure of your arms. And breathe in. And when you exhale, press into your left palm, bring your right hand back to table. And then step your left hand well forward of your right. Press down into your fingers. Keep the heel of your left hand lifted as a reminder that you're lifting the entire underside of your arm. Rotate your head to your right and consider relaxing your head down towards the floor. So the right forearm remains strong, right elbow steady. And as your left fingertips and thumb press down, lift almost like the center of the palm, the heel of the hand, gently lifting, and be deliberate to lift your forearm, your upper arm, and your inner armpit. And press down into your right hand and inhale to table pose. Curl your toes under now, and let's see what downward facing dog pose feels like. Reach your hips high and notice what's happening with your neck. And if again you want to have a little exploration of your head like we did when we were seated in that forward bend, just check and see, almost as if you were, a certain creature that has an interesting neck, like a giraffe. Let's check and see what is happening now. Like a flamingo has an interesting neck. How far around you are you able to see? And take a deep breath in. And with your exhale, begin to walk your feet forward and your hands back until you're standing in Uttanasana, the standing forward bend. Now I'm going to give you a specific instruction in Uttanasana. If you need to see the visual, go ahead and watch. Otherwise, you can use the words that I'm going to say. So when you inhale, I'd like you to just let the back of the body broaden. But on the exhale, I want you to slide your shoulders up away from your ears towards your hips. And that little slide of the shoulder blade should also feel like it causes the upper arms and elbows to lift slightly. And then you inhale to relax that. And exhale to glide your shoulders up, shoulder blades towards your hips. Imagine the neck getting longer. And then release that as you inhale. And exhale again. Slide your shoulder blades towards your hips, shoulders up away from your ears, the neck getting longer. One more time, inhale. And last one, exhale, glide your shoulder blades. And then hands to your hips and rise up to standing. And I will change my camera now because it won't suit. Yeah. We're going to go to the sun salutation, so I might be able to see that pretty well. Okay. So please step forward on your yoga mat where you're sun salutation can be supported. And I'm going to ask to use blocks this morning because I want us to focus in Cobra Pose on really how to accentuate upper back, shoulder, and neck flexibility. And I feel that's still not quite right. I need a little more room for my head, not to be cut off. You guys might wonder why I have to adjust it every time. Because I have to sign the camera in for class every time, and to do that I have to pick it up. So that's what happens. Okay, we can look at that. All right. Join your hands together, please. So the absence of complaining. In this particular invocation, we're actually talking about giving praise. So to the cosmos, when we say, Om Bhagava Shiva Tat Savitor Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. So we're saying, let's praise the wisdom and intelligence, the beauty of this creation, this cosmos, including us. May this practice help us to remember that we are a part of all that this is. Okay, so with the Ujjayi breath, sweep your hands down, wide and up. Exhale to chair pose. Okay, inhale, rise up, giving praise, the absence of complaining. Exhale, bow forward, humility, also the absence of complaining. Inhale, glide forward, curiosity. Exhale, left foot back, stepping into your taproot. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge, like courage. Exhale, descend just to touch the two blocks. Inhale, heart forward, gaze forward, curiosity. Exhale to bow to the legs, humility. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, right foot back, tapping into your roots. Inhale to rise, fortitude. Exhale, descend. Again, humility, inwardness. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. And exhale to bow towards your legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to the heart. Again, inhale. Chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Left toes back. Inhale to rise. Descend. Forward. Right foot back. Rising. Descend. Now this time both hands on the blocks, downward dog pose. And exhale forward to plank pose. Inhale to cat pose, like a parachute that lets you touch your knees down really lightly. Exhale to cow pose. And start to think of cow pose as having cobra pose already in it. And then roll your shoulders back to seal pose. You can keep the knees on the floor. Now slide your shoulders back and your elbows back and your heart forward. And that's cobra pose with the hands on your blocks. Then keep the shoulders lifted, but bow your head. So try pressing the shoulders up, tailbone long, and the head gently releases towards the floor. And then gaze under your right block and under your left block. So you're going to turn your chin, which is close to your throat. Gaze slightly left and slightly right as you keep the shoulders pressing up away from the floor. And then let your head come back to center. Shoulders still rising. Energize your legs, please, and root your tailbone. And then lift the base of your skull. Lift your chin, lift your gaze, press down, seal pose. And plank pose. And then downward facing dog pose. Now in this dog pose, let's try the same thing. Keep your hands and arms really stable and gaze under your left arm just as far as you comfortably can. Think about bringing your nose towards your left bicep, not forward towards it, but rotating towards it. And then rotate your nose as far as you comfortably can to your right. Keep both arms steady so your downward dog structure is stable. And the turning of your head has the freedom for exploring. Let's bring it back to center. And then step your awkward foot forward, and then your second foot forward. And come to Uttanasana. Now let's inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to your heart. I'll step back just slightly. So let's go back to the beginning of class. Inhale, raise your arms up. And then pull your left elbow down, right elbow stays high. Right? Turn your gaze as far as you comfortably can to your right. So when you pull the left elbow down, your palms are facing down. Turn your head as far as you can to your right. Hopefully your right arm is not pushing your head forward. If it is, I'd like you to lengthen your neck and be strong in the center of the throat and the interior of your neck. And then inhale, come to center, push the heels of your hands up. And now bring your right elbow down, left elbow high. Your palms are going to face down, right? So your arm is behind your head. Turn your head as far as you comfortably can to your left. Keep drawing the right elbow down, left elbow high. It's not that you're actually side bending. You are turning your head. And the arms are asymmetrical, but we're not bending sideways right now. And then bring that back to center. Inhale to go up. And back to Surya Namaskar. Exhale, chair pose. Sit down. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. Exhale, Uttanasana. And then inhale, bring your heart forward, Ardha Uttanasana, curiosity. Exhale, left toes back, stepping into your roots, your taproot. Now inhale to rise, crescent lunge. Stay up with your left arm and exhale, open to your right. And inhale, raise up, center your head, gaze up. Exhale, open to your right. Keep the left arm high and strong. Inhale, rise to center. Exhale, open to your right. Last time, inhale, rise to center. And exhale, wide, forward and down. Humility. Inhale, step forward, curiosity, gaze forward. Exhale, right toes back, stepping into your tap roots or your foundation. You inhale, lift up, gaze up. Now keeping your right arm steady, exhale, gaze to your left. Be aware that the right arm might move as a counterbalance. Try to hold it steady. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, gaze left. For those of you recovering from brain injuries, which includes me, this is a practice requiring that kind of concentration that we do in our brain injury activities, our healing activities. And you might notice that one side of this practice is harder for you than the other side. This happens to be my hard side. Okay, let's take the arms wide and come slowly down. And then we're going to step backwards, downward dog pose, make your hands firm. And inhale forward to plank pose. Now gaze straight down in plank pose so your nose and your eyes are looking down between your thumbs to the floor. And then turn your head as far as it goes comfortably to your right. Exhale to center. Turn as far as you comfortably can to your left. What happens to your right low belly, left low belly? Come to center. Inhale, parachute your spine to cat pose. Exhale to cow pose, thinking already of your cobra pose. Inhale to seal pose. And then exhale, glide forward, cobra. Accept the fact that you might have hair in your face. Okay, keep the shoulders pressing up, please. And once more, allow your head to descend. Now I'd like you to raise your shoulders up to what you would imagine is the same height, more or less, as your elbows. Lengthen your tailbone back. And then lift the base of your skull so your head, you could imagine, is in line with your lower cervical spine. And then rotate your head as far as you comfortably can to your right. Keep the left shoulder lifted. It doesn't have to follow your chin. Bring your nose to center and then to your left. Keep your right shoulder lifted. Bring your nose to center. And now this cobra, you lift from the base of your skull and it comes up into seal pose. And exhale to plank. Reach backwards, downward facing dog pose. And then bring your awkward foot forward first. Second foot forward. Release towards your legs. And now this time we're going to reach back to interlace the fingers at the small of your back, please. Roll your shoulders back away from your heart. And take your shoulder blades up away from the base of your skull. And keeping the legs as you need them to be. So for some of you, bending your knees is going to be a lot more useful to you in this position. And for others, a slight bend or the legs can be straight. As you squeeze your shoulders back away from your heart, see to what extent you could comfortably move your gaze left and right, gazing about at all that includes you. So thinking of beyond the walls of your room, right? Not just where you're practicing. The land on which you are standing or on which your building is standing. The air that surrounds, the water and the electricity that's plumbed into the building that you're in. Every resource, everything and everyone. Let yourself come back to center, and with your hands clasped, bring your heart forward and rise up to standing. Root your tailbone down. Let the arms dangle. And ask what little mental habits you might dissolve, the ones that kind of add up to complaining. Recognizing, of course, that none of these habits are actually small, but some are bigger than others. I'm talking like a Zen koan, like the habit of preference, the habit of comparison, the habit of expectation or desire, those things that precede the complaint moment. Please don't ever forget that I'm sharing the human condition with you. Okay, now we're going to come down to do something specific for the neck and shoulders. Let me just get my glasses on for a moment. I have to come see you. Okay, I have to look in my monitor. All right. I can see you pretty well. How are the neck and shoulders doing? Are you getting tired of this? You want to just stop? April, I saw that. Okay. Sign language works really well for me right now. Okay, so what we're going to do now needs 2 blocks for the neck and shoulders, and I will show you. And it's really helpful if you get the blocks set up where I'm going to recommend, because there are these, like, you know, those trigger points. You know what I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. So the first block is going to be on the medium setting like this. It goes down your yoga mat. I'll put mine here. Okay. And this edge of the block right here, this is called the back side of the block. This is going to be called the front side. The back side of the block is going to go right between the upper parts of your shoulder blades here, where my fingers and my thumb are. So it's probably going to look something like this if we could do it. But you're going to be lying down on this block. Okay, so where it touches, once more, is right here. If you reach over and think, oh yeah, I got like a tender spot there and I've got one there too, that's where the edge of the block is going to be. Please put the other block within reach of one of your hands. Okay, so we go like this. You lie backwards. You have to fiddle about to figure it. I have a lot of experience, so I landed right on my spot, but you may have to adjust that a couple of times. To get my hair out from under my shoulder. Okay, so there you are. You then put this block under your hips so that your hips are supported at the same height as the upper back. And just give a little check. You reach with your fingers to see, okay, yeah, there I am. And then clasp your hands behind your head. Lengthen actively through your tailbone, so it's not like your legs are going to be passive. Please keep your knees bent and your feet grounded. As you lie backwards over this block, I'm going to ask you now to hold the top of your head and bring your elbows towards each other. And then reach your arms long, like an arrow. And lengthen your tailbone opposite, so you have a sense of traction for the whole spine, including the upper back spine, inner belly, lumbar spine. Now separate your hands to be shoulder width apart. Let's do palms face up. And then start bringing your elbows down until they are about in line with your shoulders, like a cactus or a goalpost. I do not expect that the back of your elbows are going to reach the floor. They might, they may not. I do hope the back of your hands touch the floor. And my guess is that the corners of the blocks right now are telling you where your trigger points might be. If you can relax your neck now. If what's happening is you really have to reach your head pretty far back to get it to the floor, it's helpful to take an extra blanket to put that under your head. Not to raise it too high, but not to have your head tip too far back either. And that will be the case for those of you for whom your thoracic spine, especially the upper thoracic spine, might be very stiff. Now breathing in, breathing out. We're going to reverse our direction, so sweep your hands long until your palms face up and you're reaching. Bring your palms together like an arrow. Come to hold the top of your head. Roll your head up, hold the back of your head, elbows coming towards each other. And then keeping your head cradled in just your right hand, turn your head as far as it comfortably goes to your right and stretch your left arm long. And keep supporting your head with your right hand, almost like your chin is going to get to know the inner shoulder right here. And open your right arm out to the side, left arm out to the side, excuse me. And then reach your right arm past your right ear again. Use left arm, excuse me, I'm not mirroring you. And use your right hand to bring your head back to center. Place your left hand with your right hand to switch them. Now holding your head with your left hand, turn as far as you comfortably can to your left. Gaze to your left and reach your right arm overhead. Bring your chin towards your inner left armpit. And open your right arm out to the side. And then glide your left arm overhead. Use right arm overhead, excuse me, and bring both hands to hold the back of your head. Now we support the head on the floor or the blanket that you're using. Lift your hips and take the block under your pelvis and put that one aside. Place your palms face down under where your hips are going to land. When you lower your hips down, then straighten one leg, press down through your hands, rise up with your heart, then straighten the other leg. And you come up to sit and just notice, okay, how are things feeling? That was a journey, an exploration for your upper back, neck, and shoulders, right? Okay, let's sit on a blanket, please. I'm going to make my blanket this morning to show you can fold it in half or you can fold it in thirds. If you just need like a little bit more support for your hips, you fold it in thirds. And please take a seat. And stretch your left leg out straight. Bring your right knee up to your chest. Clasp your hands around your right ankle. Lift your heart up and roll the shoulders back. And close your eyes and go inside to feel as you lengthen your spine up. Think of this gentle hold you have on your right ankle as a kind of opposing traction. So the inner body in rising has a container from which to rise. And you can imagine, like, okay, who would you be? Who would any one of us be if we saw those mental habits at their inception before they become fully bloomed? Right? And when you're ready to reach your left arm forward, inhale to go up with the left arm. And then twist to your right. And I am mirroring you now. So you're going to cross your left elbow over your right knee. For some of you that might mean that like you're actually crossing your armpit. That's not my experience, and it probably won't be in this lifetime. So I like to do my left palm face up and the left arm strong. And then walk your right hand behind you. If sitting on a blanket means that the floor for your right hand seems far away, please put something under your hand like a block. And breathe into your lower belly, your back waist, your side waist. And one more time, breathing in. And then bring your right hand around and release the first twist. Step in for the other side. Clasp your hands around your left shin and go upwards with your spine and set your shoulders back. And try to feel, especially when I say raise up through your spine, lift the base of your skull. You don't have to flatten the back of the neck, but I do want to counter this sort of computer posture that we get ourselves into. So lift into the base of your skull and tone the front of your throat. And raise your right arm up on the inhale. And as you exhale, twist to your left. You can cross the back of your right arm or elbow. Some of you are going to cross into your armpit. Again, that's not going to be me, and I don't mind. There's no deficit in the yoga. But you do the position that's yours, that's breathable for you. And gaze over your left shoulder. As you're breathing in and breathing out, consider, it doesn't have to be the biggest breath, but can you let the breath come down into the pelvic bowl? And then when you exhale, rotate around to face forward. Okay. And please take a seat. Could be Siddhasana, which is the one that I'm doing. That is characterized by having the pubic bone and then the two heels lined up. It's called Siddhasana. You could do Sukhasana, where you cross the ankles. For those of you who like it, you could do Ardha Padmasana, one leg in lotus pose, the other one on the floor. If you need to kneel, that's fine too. Rest your hands in your lap. And notice what is happening in your neck and your shoulders, in your heart. Notice within your mind and your body any access you have to stillness. And if that stillness might also be a quality of reflection or sensing your interconnected nature. So we're going to use this short meditation as a transition to a supported Shavasana, because I'd like to have pranayama for you after Shavasana to feel then the power of that meditative state. So what you'll need is the blanket that you have now and a bolster and a block. And if you don't have a bolster, that is okay. What you can do instead is to use a couple of pillows, a couch cushion, a well-behaved large dog that likes you to have your knees over the dog. So you take the blanket like this, please. Open it lengthwise. And then fold this in half. Now you have an option here. You can just fold it in half one more time, but some of you could fold it into thirds. And that's based on the kind of blanket you have and the flexibility of your lumbar spine. We're going to be lying backwards over this. So we're not going to sit on the blanket. We are going to lie backwards. And so what you do is you sit just in front of your blanket with a block close enough to hold. So you can put it under in a moment here. So if you folded it in half or in thirds, it's more narrow than if you hadn't. If you folded it into third, it's going to be even more narrow and a little bit higher. So when you lie back like this, then you take the block and it's going to go on the flat setting, which is this one, under the blanket, under your head. And then you tuck the shoulder blades under, and we'll do palms face down. So this is your Shavasana position because it's going to give you this head position called Jalandhara Bandha. Yeah. Okay, so gazing down towards your heart is going to be eyes closed, but the gaze is in towards the heart. That's my recommendation. And you can also cover with an extra blanket if that's one of your ways that you feel cozy and nurtured. And relax your tongue as a way to signal to your body and to your mind that you are in Shavasana. Relax the tongue and the activities of the mind. Imagine the inner belly relaxing, relaxing, just ever so slightly more for each time that you soften your tongue, and for any degree of relaxing your mind. Now it's possible that you're also watching your body go from activity to stillness. I sometimes say exertion to ease. You may start to hear the gurgling sounds of the belly or the stomach. It's a positive sign. Allow the entire body to rest. Any place making contact with the ground, with the blanket of the bolster, can be very heavy, limp. Relax the weight of your tongue at the bottom of your mouth. Allow your eyes to rest, not seeking something in particular to look at. Allow your mind to rest. The little dust bunnies of mental habit, they can also rest. relaxation to go a few degrees more deeply, knowing the medicine this is for your mind, not only for your body. And now once more, a few degrees deeper yet. Allow the places where you touch the ground or the blankets to get heavier, for your tongue and your mind to be more relaxed, for the inner belly and your heart, your awareness to be clear and open, receptive. And keeping awareness of where you are in the present. There's the sense of the physical density of the body. It's called Annamaya Kosha. Lightly sense the vitality in you, like there's electricity in your home, there's plumbing. In the physical body, we have this Pranamaya Kosha, this vitality and these pathways for that. And gently move your breath down into your abdomen. And deeper than that layer of the body, we have the Manomaya Kosha, where your mind and your senses are. So let your mind and your senses become aware of the environment. And then we're going to use a 3-part inhale and a complete exhale. So if you place one hand on the low belly, one hand on the side ribs, and the low belly hand also comes up to the heart, you can kind of keep track of. So you've got low, middle, upper, 3 parts to the breath. Between each part of the breath, there's a little pause. And I'm going to recommend we use the count of 3. So it'll be inhale 3, pause for 3, inhale 3 in the middle, pause for 3, inhale 3 in the upper, pause for 3, and then exhale for 9 from the base up. Okay, so place the hand that's going to be on the mid belly can stay. The other hand may be the one that moves from the low belly to the heart, or it might touch all 3 regions. Using the Ujjayi inhale, low belly for 3. Pause for 3. Mid belly for 3. Pause for 3. Upper chest and heart for 3. And from the base of the spine and pelvis, exhale for 9 counts, counting that slowly to yourself to the end. And then try it again, a 3-part inhale, 3 for the breath, 3 for the pause, 3 times. One more time, please. And keeping an awareness of that process, we're going to do it now as a seated pranayama. So this is a good time to bend your knees one at a time. Roll down to your right. And in your own timing, bring yourself up to sit. And choose the seat you can use for pranayama. When you're upright, the breath practice might feel different. It'll be the same. Inhale 3, pause 3, inhale 3, pause 3, inhale 3, pause 3, exhale for 9, pause for 3. But it will feel different being upright because of how your body now responds to your lungs, your diaphragm, and the structure. So give it a go at your own timing, because your count for 3 might be different than my count for 3. One more round. And at the end of that 9 count exhale, and a 3-count pause. Then you relax the breath deeply. Let yourself relax and rest. And the meditative opportunity that now we hope we've elicited for you. Rest in the possibility of this quiet, your deepest nature, uncluttered by thought habits. This possibility that we can rest there together right now. Please bring your hands together at your heart. And you can sing with me if you like. Om Bhurva Suvah Tat Savitor Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayata. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. May each of us be the slightly better version of ourselves, having been here together today. And may this come through in our thoughts, in our actions, in our speech, in our relationships to everyone and everything, and the ecology, the plants and the animals. Thank you very much. Namaste. I'm going to come up where I can see you, a little bit larger versions of you in your little Zoom squares. I have to switch to my other so you can see me also. You're welcome, Andrea. Yeah. Thank you for your notes, which I can see there. Yeah. How are you feeling from today's practice? And maybe it's a nonverbal response. Sometimes you can't talk that much, certainly not right away. It's okay.